Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. Let's talk books. Let's talk about the books I'm currently reading, which is a video that I actually love seeing on people's channels, and I've never done one. So here I am doing it. And the main reason why I think I've never done one before is that I am rarely reading more than one, possibly two books at a time. Like now, because I listen to a lot of audio, I tend to have an audio going at all times, and then maybe a physical or an ebook. More than that is gets a little overwhelming for me. But somehow this last week and a half or two, I have been reading. I have quite a few books going. Is basically what I'm trying to say, and I thought I would share with you and kind of share how I'm evolving as a reader. So the first book that I just finished up in audiobook, and it will be in my wrap up. What month is it? My April wrap up. Is Neil deGrasse Tyson's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. This is a very short book. I listened to it in audiobook, and the only reason I got the physical copy is because I teach a class called Big History, and so if there was anything in here that would work as like a short reading assignment for my students, I thought having the physical copy would be good. All right, I'll share my full thoughts in the wrap up, and maybe not even in the wrap up. I'm thinking that I'm going to do a separate video just on this book, and basically suggestions for people that either don't want to get this book because of the accusations against Neil deGrasse Tyson, or because or for people who also liked it but want to read more along similar themes. The class that I teach is called Big History, from the Big Bang and to now, but I teach it from the Big Bang into the future. So there's a lot of what he says in here overlaps with some of the material that I have taught, but I also think Big History does some of this material better. All right, maybe I should stop talking and get too long on that, because I think I'm going to do a dedicated video on that topic for next week. So keep an eye out for that. The next book that I am currently listening to, and I'm about 40% of the way through, is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. So this book was really big, like a couple years ago. My sister read it and loved it and was like, Cynthia, you need to read this. And so I finally picked it out, and I bought the physical copy from a used bookstore, but I really needed an audiobook, and I saw my library had it, so I just got it, and maybe I'll finish it up in physical copy, but so darn good so far. It's really, like, it's caught my attention, and for like a thriller, that's what it needs to do. That's what I'm looking for. It needs to grab my attention. This first 40% that I've gotten to also reads very much like like an anti-alcoholism ad. Basically, that's what I will say. It's very anti-alcoholism. I haven't gotten to any of the big twists or anything like that, which I am waiting for, because I suspect that is what's happening. But really interesting. I'm like, I don't take the train, but if I did take the train, I would be the kind of person who would be trying to look into people's houses, and I would form like little lives for them. Anyway. The next book that I am reading is The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. This was the Latinx book club pick. I will leave all the information below if you're interested in joining up. But each month, collectively, everybody involved picks a book for the month to read together, and then they do a breakdown of the pages so that you're chatting about with everybody in the comments on the weekend about certain pages. Really, really love the idea, wanted to participate full-heartedly, and then I'm such a big mood reader. I am, and I've been carrying this book around with me everywhere, and I just have not been able to get into it. I'm about 30 pages in, so I've been reading like 1-2 pages at a time, which when I start doing that, I'm realizing it's when I'm just not in the right mood. It's a really stressful part of the semester for me, and I do teach at a university, so I'm working on wrapping up a bunch of grades, putting in information, grading, all that good stuff, and this was just not the right mood book for me. But it is a book that I really am interested in. It follows a young boy, a young Latino boy who in his backyard there's a volcano, and then a kind of landing, some plane crashes into the volcano, and then kind of interesting things begin to happen. It turns out he might have a connection to the gods, possibly, I'm not sure. Like I said, 30 pages in, so I should really be into it. Then I thought maybe it's because it's a middle grade book, but no, I recently was it Nevermore? I read Nevermore and really enjoyed it. I think the problem might have been just my mood to the format. So I actually just realized the other day that my library has the audiobook for this. So I just checked it out, and I'm gonna be reading it in the next week or so, listening to it on the audio, because I think that's gonna be a better format for me. I tend to do better with some of these books in audio. So look for that in my May wrap up, because now I'll be reading it in May. Yeah, the next book that I read, I think it's Divided in Death. It's book 18 in the In Death series by J.D. Robb. If you know anything about this series, it follows a New York cop, Eve Dallas, in the future. It is decades into the future, and the stories don't focus on that element. The main focus is, like the murder of the week, and then Eve Dallas and the relationships she has with her significant other, with her friends, and the kind of little community that she has built around herself. And I really, really love this series. It is comfort food for me, much like romance novels are, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So these are the books I'm reading. This is what's happening in my reading life at the moment. I'm such a mood reader that it can sometimes, during really stressful time periods, it can be a little bit much, but reading has become part of my self-care. And so right now I feel like while I am working on balancing things out, I think things could be worse. Usually I'm such a stress ball this time of the semester, just like my students, by the way. If you're a college student, you know that your professors are just as stressed out as you are. Just to wrap this up, I'll just say that April wrap-up is coming up. It'll be posted on Saturday, and then watch out for future videos, like the video on Big History if you're interested. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.